What's up, everybody? As you can see, I'm in my car right now. I kind of do all my editing in the car, and my voiceovers and stuff like that, just because I have two dogs, and as soon as I step inside, they start going crazy. But I kind of wanted to just do something different for the intro of this video, kind of make a connection with you guys, showing my face, and just stuff like that. I just want to be more seen, I guess you can say, because the last couple of videos, it was just voiceovers. I wasn't really showing myself. So I'm just trying to build more of a connection in that aspect with my audience. But today we have a huge transformation. This kid's been growing his hair for like 10 months, he said. And we're taking a good chunk off. Enough to still keep some length on the top and push it over. And enough on the sides to still slick it back when he styles it. But for the most part, I want to say about 4 inches that I'm chopping off here. It's pretty crazy. He didn't really maintain it too well, so he did come into the shop with a lot of tangles, stuff like that I really had to work through it. But as a barber, you find a problem and you offer a solution to that problem. So I think I did a really good job with what I was given to work with. And let's get right into this video. Alright, so we're starting out here by saturating his hair with some water. I'm going to section the top from the sides. So I want to make sure that his hair is wet enough to where my comb will glide smoothly through it and not cause any pulling or tension or anything like that. So make sure that the hair is evenly wet, because you don't want some spots to be dry and then the cut comes out uneven. So like I explained, his hair has been kind of not maintained well, so it's pretty tangled. So I'm starting my sections with a YS part comb, and the teeth are just too small. It's not going through how I want it to. I don't feel comfortable enough to keep pulling at his hair like this. So once I kind of section this little piece, I switch to a detangling comb or a pompadour comb. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing, man. You can use it for both, but it's gonna feed through the hair better so that it detangles a little bit more, so that when I do comb through it, it's not gonna cause him any discomfort. Like I said, client satisfaction, that's the most important thing. You don't want them feeling any sort of pain while they're getting their hair cut. So once I do that, as you can see, the hair is manageable. I can get my smaller tooth comb through it without any issues. And I'm gonna start by sectioning this first panel here, and it's going to be a diagonal section because I want to over direct the hair forward like so that this way there's some length maintained on the sides, because he's going to kind of push his hair backwards, if that makes sense. He wants to style it back, so we're going to leave enough hair on the sides there so that he has something to comb. So I'm just going to make my first cut, and I'm going to follow it through just like that. And now I'm taking the bottom hairs, because they're a little bit longer, and I'm just matching it to what I cut previously. And with that, I'm just going to take it all the way through, and as you can see, the shorter piece, I'm just matching that long strand to it. It's very important to work in small sections doing cuts like these, because you can easily get lost. You want to make sure that your sections are clean and that you are able to see every single cut that you're doing, so that the haircut comes out even all the way through. So right here, I'm just cleaning up his edge. We're not gonna make a hard line. We're not gonna, line them up super crazy. This is gonna be a more natural sort of haircut. So I'm doing everything with shears. So after I do that, I'm gonna pull all this hair forward, and same thing, I'm just matching to my previous cut. And when I brush it back, as you can see, it flows nicely. Shape is very important in these type of haircuts, so you want to make sure that everything you do is intentional. So what I'm doing here, I'm creating the back line here on his neck. I'm brushing the hair down with my comb, flattening it with my shears, and then I'm coming right across to make a straight cut. So we're going to blend the top of his head into the sides. I'm making a part right down the middle of his head, and I'm splitting the sides. So now I'm going to take all this hair, and he wants it out of his eyes, so I'm going to have to take off quite a bit. And just make sure in your consultation that they're okay with that, because the last thing you want to do is take off too much hair. But same thing, my first cut, I'm just going to follow it all the way into the front. And I'm going to make sure that the front flows smoothly into the sides, so that when he is wearing it, it's not going to look like disconnected or anything like that. I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoy doing cuts like these. You don't really see it too much. A lot of people, they love the sides to be super short, bald fades. But when you got a client in here like this whose hair has been growing for this long, and you know they tell you they want to leave some of the length, it definitely shows your versatility, being able to accomplish a haircut of this degree with all scissors. It definitely keeps me on top of my game. So this is just the same thing. I'm matching it from the other side, and I'm just following it through. The last cut in the front that I did there, I'm taking and I'm just matching it so that both sides are even. And like I said, this is so that the front doesn't look disconnected. It's going to blend evenly into the front, as you can see here. So I'm going to section the fringe area from the sides, and I'm just going to, same thing, work it into the sides so that it blends. And I'm going to pull the fringe down, over direct it, and match it. So I'm just going to dry it out a little bit just to see how the shape is looking. I'm not drying to style, I'm just drying to take some of the moisture out of his hair. So, I mean, you can see the texture that's created when you cut with just the shears. It definitely gives the haircut a different look, a more softer look than it would with clippers. But yeah, it's just a nice look overall, man. So I'm just coming through, little trimmer over comb here. And this is the only pair of clippers that I use for this cut, just to edge him around his ears a little bit. But like I said, I wanted this to be as natural as possible. I didn't really want to create any sharp lines or anything of that nature. And I'm just cleaning up, you know, around the C-cup area, around his sideburns. This whole YouTube journey, man, it's been interesting. It's a lot of work that goes into this that I did not realize behind the scenes. But it's cool. I'm getting to explore that venture of things and see for myself how much work goes into this. So this is a razor comb. I'm just doing some razor over comb here, just to soften that weight that is left there. It's a cool effect too. I mean, people don't really see that too often, so if there's somebody in the shop watching you cut, it's kind of a cool thing for them to see. It's all visual, man. Haircutting is, you know, a lot of visual that goes into it. People see that you know what you're doing, and it interests them to sit in your chair. So I threw a little bit of 245 indestructible clay in there, just giving it a little bit of style. I'm kind of talking him through this. I asked him if he wanted to kind of push the top over a bit. He said yeah, so that's what we're doing. Just gonna clean his neckline up here, some hot lather, and as you can see, the lines on his edge is not super harsh, it's not super defined, it's a nice natural look. And I think that's important for these all scissor cuts. You don't want to create too much of a emphasis on the lineup when all the work that you did was with the shears. You want that to be noticed. So again, just kind of styling a little bit, putting the hair into place. So check out the before and check out the after. I think this suits him so much better. But yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I appreciate y'all.